Maybe you just think that women should be equally represented in the decision-making fora of our nation.
Well, I do believe that women should have... I don't understand your question, I guess.
I guess you don't. That's pretty obvious, unfortunately.
Well, how about if you phrase it more clearly, instead of just insulting me? Let's talk about quotas for a minute. There's a very wide array of jobs that are fundamentally done by men. 99.9% of bricklayers are men. Should we have quotas for women?
Is bricklaying representative democracy?
That has nothing to do with the question. The question is if there's evidence of structural inequality and oppression because women aren't precisely represented at 50% in all professions at all levels, then why don't we have a conversation about having women represented in all professions at all levels? Well, why do we talk about the C-suite, for example? Why do we talk about politics and positions of power?
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this MeToo environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
Gender-based hiring is a significant issue in the workplace, as it often leads to unattractive women and a hostile environment. Companies often hire women out of obligation, rather than want, and women often bring drama and gossip to the workplace. This can lead to negative views and hinder career progression. Many women in these roles have unqualified backgrounds, which can cause workplace instability. Feminists advocate for gender quotas, which have been distorted to prioritize quotas over talent. Qualifications should determine hiring, and women should take responsibility for their actions. The MeToo movement has shown that men are not faultless, and false charges should be considered harassment and abuse. Women should be encouraged to take responsibility for their actions and work towards a merit-based strategy instead of relying on gender quotas. Isn't it ridiculous that women depend on gender quotas to get employment when they are presumably just as capable as men? You're pitiful if you believe you can't get a job because you're so unattractive to employers. Companies frequently hire women out of obligation rather than real interest. My observations have led me to believe that women often bring an abundance of drama to the office. If a male employee is assigned a duty by their supervisor, he is expected to complete it. On the other hand, female employees are more prone to dispute when assigned tasks. Recruit males if you value productivity. Employ women if you desire workplace drama and nitpicking. Legally, diversity-focused employment practices and gender quotas need to be re-evaluated. These actions are overt types of bias. An individual's merit, their ability, knowledge, experience, and the results of their work should be the primary criteria for employment decisions. Women exemplify narcissism and excessive pride, which is bad for business and people. A lack of self-control can lead to problems and setbacks, which in turn can affect the happiness of those around you. As embodiments of evil, women can frequently be a cause of difficulty and tension for others in their lives. Collaborating with women, especially younger ones, can be difficult in today's business. Problems may arise in your career if people have a bad impression of you. Disagreements, reluctance to work together, or just a personality mismatch could all contribute to these unfavorable impressions. When human resources and upper management appear to be on their side, it can be irritating and even hostile, regardless of their age or degree of expertise. If you want to keep your career, avoiding ladies is your only safe bet. Quotas for women in executive positions that were once required by law, policy, or regulation are no longer in effect. Just ask them to define what a woman is, if they dare to contradict this, and watch as they fumble. Some people simply say, I identify as a woman, when asked about hiring quotas that require women to be employed. This removes quota restrictions, allowing companies to choose the most qualified applicant for each position. The policies pertaining to identity politics and equal employment opportunity, EEO, have been done away with, and what's left are diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs. It would appear that women's employment aspirations are met with the same degree of immaturity as their romantic partnerships. I've had the good fortune to work with males in fields like insurance claims and contracting, and the difference is mind-boggling. In contrast to males who are more concerned with finding solutions and moving forward, women in comparable positions frequently fail to respond to my emails and voicemails, so I have to start over with a male colleague in order to get things done. Many women in these roles have histories that show they are woefully unqualified for the roles. Consider the head of the department responsible for budget management. They have a background in politics, paralegal work, and swim coaching under their belts. That incompetence flourishes is hardly surprising. Someone else, who has an associate's degree in graphic design, is in charge of the program analysis section. We used to hire people based on their qualifications, but eventually we stopped. The workplace is often racked by mayhem caused by these ineffectual women. You could try your hardest to make them happy, but you'd be more successful herding cats. Some people or things are simply difficult to please or calm down, and that's a sad truth. We try everything to make these people happy, yet they can't help but find fault with everything. It serves as a sobering reminder that there are certain people you just can't satisfy, and that it may be more productive to direct your energy elsewhere. Dealing with female coworkers' social dynamics might be really terrifying. Their private lives take center stage at work, and you risk being accused of lacking empathy if you refuse to participate in their drama or listen to their gripes. It's as if their issues are more important than anything else. Women seem to flourish in an environment of constant upheaval, in contrast to men who tend to favor directness and low drama in the job. A need for effectiveness and efficiency, which are frequently absent in settings where women predominate, is probably the driving force for this preference. Furthermore, women may face exclusion from private conversations, especially those involving delicate topics. In the aftermath of MeToo and other movements, it is understandable that women may feel awkward or misunderstood. Thus, efforts have been made to keep them out of the conversation. MeToo has become a worldwide problem, affecting not only the United States but also Europe, England, and other parts of the world, particularly the business world. Knowing that he may be swallowed whole by unfounded charges with just one slip-up, why would any reasonable male knowingly plunge into the working pool with women? Women are like a virus that infects productivity and profitability. They carry drama and gossip around the workplace like a virus. Knowing that the drama they bring could spell the end for efficiency and revenues, businesses bent on survival discreetly avoid hiring them. In a society where women want praise for every little thing, an overly sympathetic response like, "then eat something" to a coworker's hunger pangs is taken the wrong way. They can't function well without continual affirmation, which they seek for like blood for vampires. Every ordinary task necessitates a huge party, as if carrying out their duties were insufficient. The fundamental idea of employment, which many women appear to have lost sight of, is to carry out designated duties in exchange for payment. Like Neo in The Matrix, they try to avoid doing things that are expected of them, but when the money stops coming in, all of a sudden, they start demanding that money back. Many women have imposter syndrome because feminism has successfully spread skepticism about their competence and the merit of their positions. The feminist movement is perpetuating this vicious loop. Feminists' beloved gender quota enforcement has devolved into a skewed game of putting quotas ahead of merit. Qualifying candidates, regardless of their gender, should be considered for employment. Feminist ideology, however, frequently disregards common reason. Basically, quotas should be slammed by reality. A few statutes are more suited to a farce than a serious piece of legislation. The constant stereotyping of males as dangerous to women is getting to men, and men are sick of it. They are proud of their work and will not stand for rudeness or unfounded allegations. Large companies are employing fewer women because of quota mania, which causes more men to avoid women in the workplace. Just so we're clear, I have absolutely no problem with women holding high positions if they've proven themselves worthy. Whatever the gender, I would choose the most qualified candidate for the position. Hiring people only on the basis of their gender is, however, entirely foolish. The male gender would be best to avoid or at least limit contact with female coworkers. Creating a barrier around yourself and treating women as if they don't exist is a matter of basic sense. Laws mandating the hiring of women have been pushed through by feminists during the past decade. Gender quotas mandate that certain departments, such as procurement and marketing, have female heads of state or board members. But these measures aren't free. Feminism and women are equally to fault. Women must take responsibility for their part in this disaster. The MeToo movement has backfired in certain respects, even though men aren't flawless. Men who abuse or harass should face consequences, but making up claims is abusive in and of itself. Always on guard to avoid offending women, working with them might feel like traversing a minefield. Women frequently fail to grasp the gravity of even the tiniest slip-ups, in contrast to men. It is easy for women to take advantage of men, or fabricate accusations against them since they know society and the law are on their side. This can put men's jobs at risk. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.